gentlemen, you wanted the best, you got the best. In strong language and adult content, the hottest podcast in the world. Slowly we rock.
Slowly we rock. Slowly we rock.
Hey everyone, welcome to another episode of Slowly We Rock.
Internet's first music podcast.
Metal's
First podcast.
Yeah. Metal's premium podcast.
Yeah.
That's how I describe it.
Premium.
As in you should be paying to listen, but we'll give it to you free because we are such fantastic dudes.
Premium, that's another first word we made up.
And we haven't set up a patronage? What are they called?
Patreon?
Patreon.
Yeah.
But we will, and then you can pay for it.
Damn fucking straight.
And you will all pay.
Nothing in life's free, and I feel it's really important to learn that. And if we're the people that teach you that message on this podcast, then that's great. First bites for free, baby.
Taste of a cherry.
How's everyone doing?
I'm Lewis Blake.
Okay.
Oh, okay. Cool. Yeah.
Is that how you feel as well? Is that,
Yeah.
Who are you when you're not in a good mood?
It's a state of mind.
Yeah.
So when you're in a bad mood, who would you say you are?
My dad, Tony. I don't know.
Outrageous.
Hi.
Yeah, he's looking Lewis Blake, but he's feeling Nicolas
South
Cage.
Dakota.
Cool. Hi, Lewis. How you doing today?
Pretty good, thank you.
Awesome.
And you are?
I am James Johnson Street.
I knew that really.
I don't. Yeah. For those who don't know, yeah, it's me, James. Hi. I'm feeling good as well. To my right.
Who's this
Yeah,
guy?
I'm Dan. Feeling Clifton, looking Bradley Stoke.
Yeah. Oh, nice.
Some regional humour for you
Yeah.
there.
Yeah.
Little colloquial joke for you.
Only two places I could think of in Bristol for some
Also,
reason.
just
so.
Dan, like Prince.
Just Dan, yeah.
Yeah.
Elvis, Madonna, Dan.
Yeah. There we go.
Jesus, I guess.
Sorted.
But yeah, the surname, so.
Yeah.
So, how was everyone's weekend?
Good fun. Yeah.
Cool, I don't care. Mine was better.
Because you said that you were going to a festival, and I
did.
didn't know what you were talking about. You're like, I can't record this week. I've got to dye my hair, and I'm going to a festival.
I had to Google the word festival, find out
Yeah.
what it meant.
Yeah,
Yeah, I went to Butlins,
of course.
of all places, where there was a classic rock festival called Giants of Rock,
Okay.
and it was amazing.
And-
It was great.
Had you ever been to Butlins before?
When I was maybe like 8,
Yeah, I was about the same age.
No, went to Butlins, went to Haven, which was sort of a lower budget Butlins.
I feel like Haven's better.
They-
I feel
yeah.
like Haven's meant to be better.
Didn't feel it. I mean, I don't know what Butlins is like, but it was alright. It was
Def
a
Leppard
tiger
had a song
mascot.
about it.
Yeah. Oh my god. Yeah. So does
out.
Brian Adams. It's Haven is a place on earth, right? Yeah.
Belinda Carlisle.
Oh, Brian Adams is Haven in your arms. Yeah.
No, people often get Belinda Carlisle. And also, just so everyone knows, a festival is a day or period of celebration, typically for religious reasons. The example here on the dictionary is traditional Jewish festivals.
Yeah.
So you went to
That's what it is, okay.
traditional Jewish festival at Butlins. Just mention, I went to Butlins once when I was really young, and two things that stand out is one, in the wardrobe in the room we're staying there were mushrooms growing in the corner.
Amazing.
And two, I saw Otis the Aardvark from CBBC perform.
Was he on holiday?
And he was he's got to take some time off.
He's with his family.
Yeah, because it must be really tough, like getting up at about 2, rolling into the studio for 3:30 and working till 5. It's pretty tough for him. And I got a signed poster of him, which I kept on my bedroom wall for longer than I should have.
Like nearly 30 years.
Yeah.
Sorry, is there an end date for when you should take that down?
At least before you start secondary school.
See, I feel like with that Otis the Aardvark poster, you would take it down between the ages of about 11 to around 23, 24, and then it would become funny again.
Yeah.
I think you'd put it back up at uni. Yeah,
Yeah,
back
uni,
at
actually, yeah,
uni.
23, 24 is a bit old, but yeah, back at uni, suddenly that's funny again.
When
and
Dave Benson had you. Is it Dave Benson Phillips?
David Phillips.
Dave
yeah.
Benson and Hedges. the cigarette magnate. Incredible. But you did that. That's amazing.
So that was planned, man.
Yeah. Get your own pack of cigarettes.
Oh, well done.
Thanks for listening, guys. Same time next week.
This is why we're a premium podcast.
We are a cockpast.
Premium codpiece.
Premium codpiece, yeah. So, right,
Talking of cod pieces, yeah.
who did you see at this festival then?
I saw Big Country.
Okay.
FM were incredible.
You
The
were saying
singer
that, yeah.
looked like Michael Bolton, sang like Michael
Oh
Bolton.
my god.
They were perfect.
Dream.
They were superb.
You saw them supporting Extreme
No.
end of last year.
No, I didn't see them. They FM were touring around the same time.
Oh, okay, right.
Does FM stand for frequency modulation or
I didn't ask them.
no?
No,
I don't know if it's just FM
I kept shouting, but they wouldn't answer me.
Actually stands for Faith More.
You outside?
Faith No More was like a meta take on the FM sound.
You're outside a caravan at Butlins, banging on the door. What does it mean?
we had that. Uriah Heep were
Okay.
amazing.
That's really cool. You've seen them.
They were absolutely sick. Saw a band called Stray, who were really influential, actually, it turns out, on a lot of bands.
Okay.
They weren't very good.
So really influential on bad bands. Yeah.
No, there was some... Larry Carlton was a session guitarist who is pretty much all of the 80s, if you heard any song in the charts at all, it was either going to be Steve Lukather playing guitar or Larry Carlton.
Okay.
He's an insanely good jazz fusion player.
Yeah.
That was one of the best things I've ever seen. The musicianship was insane.
Awesome. That's really good.
Really good. I did. Oh, Slade as well, actually.
Yeah, which you
Slade.
were quite surprised about, weren't you?
Yeah, I thought you buried the lead on that one because that was like the last band you mentioned after all the other stuff you sent us like Snapchat and
forgot.
stuff on.
I
You
forgot they were a
and
thing.
your girlfriend both seemed quite surprised about how much you were enjoying Slade.
Slade.
Which, they've got
Slade.
big tunes.
Yeah.
Because everyone just knows him for the one Christmas hit. Mm-hmm. People forget how many good. Come On Feel the Noise is a fucking
It's a
incredible
tune.
song.
Banger. It's a banger.
Yeah.
Either that or the Quiet Right version. It's a good get pumped kind of song.
The best cover.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
So good.
But they were really, really good. Dave Hill's looking top.
And most important question, does he have that haircut still?
What do you think, Dan?
Yes.
Yes, he does.
You commit to
It's
that
the
haircut.
money
don't
maker,
you?
yeah. If he didn't have that haircut, they came on perform the same songs. People would start booing them.
Even if Noddy Holder was
Yeah,
back, they'd still be like, fuck this.
I
Who
was
do you know who was singing for them?
some guy.
Some dude.
Hoddy Holder.
Some guy with a real grating, horrible voice, and he was perfect.
Yeah, that's Slade sound.
Was he a Brummy as well?
Was he what?
Was he Brummy, the singer?
He might have been. I have no idea.
But I imagine
Because Noddy Holder is.
We
so
drank
he's-
quite a lot.
Yeah, he probably put on a stage voice as well. Yeah.
But one of my favourite things I noticed about them was that my sister spent quite a lot of money on a flashy silver jacket,
Yeah.
and Dave Hill from Slade was wearing the same one.
This whole thing, I've had it since 1972, man.
Incredible.
I couldn't think of a better way to ruin female fashion than to have Dave Hill from Slade wearing it.
Did you send her a photo of the...
Absolutely.
And she went, thank you for informing me of this.
I think she literally just replied with asshole.
Or you or Dave Hill.
Well,
Bit of both.
jury's still out.
She's got beef with Dave Hill.
Yep.
What was the highlight of this weekend, though?
Well,
Oh, better question. What was the good highlight and then what was the real highlight? Because I imagine with those classic rock type festivals, it's going to be a mixed bag. You're going to get people surprisingly good and then other people who
yeah.
never really left.
Oh, we saw Frank Cosmo from Boston.
cool.
Singer.
Amazing.
He was great.
Still got it.
He was good, yeah. Really, really good. He just seems really sweet on the stage as well. He just kind of looked a little bit lost. And you just wanted to look after him,
Aw,
which is
nice.
really nice.
Butlins might be a bit mental
He did a
too.
good job of making a career off of 2 albums, so he's probably very grateful for.
It's cool, isn't it? There were those ones when you play as well, like, oh shit, this is them. Oh, this is them. So they were great. The highlight for me was definitely FM.
Yeah.
And that was they were the first band on the first night, weirdly.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and I was really worried that it would have peaked because they were just so good. Larry Carlton, absolutely superb. They had Limehouse Lizzy. So there's a lot of people complaining that they had a tribute band on.
Yeah.
I've seen Limehouse Lizzy.
Yeah.
In Cirencester. They're amazing. Absolutely, they did when I saw them, they did Live and Dangerous.
Oh, cool.
All the way through. Yeah.
Amazing. When they came on, the sound guy, and if you're listening to this, I hope you got shot. He basically didn't turn on any of the PA when they started.
Jesus Christ.
And I've never seen people turn on a man so quick. He got real heated real quick, and this poor guy was just struggling. I don't really hope you were shot.
Jesus Christ.
No.
Like, I feel like
That's murder.
the one fucking thing you should do as a sound guy.
Just turn it on.
Just turn it on,
and then go from there.
Yeah, precisely.
Like Mass Lizzy, but they still
Crushed
good.
it.
Because I haven't seen him for like 10 years or so. He was at the Cornwall in Cirencester.
They've been together now for like 25 years. They've been together for longer than Thin Lizzy were a thing.
I think they're really good. Did they go down well? Because obviously,
Yeah.
like you're saying, some people might not like a tribute band.
It was rammed. It was absolutely packed.
That's cool.
I think they.
I mean, you're not going to see like Thin Lizzy with Phil Lynott.
Yeah, sadly,
Exactly.
and Gary Moore as well. You know, you're never going to get that back. So it makes sense with that sort of thing to have a tribute band. I think
Exactly. And they.
Queen have been doing it for the last 15 years. So.
I think they should have stuck with Abs from FIFO.
But they were great. However, my highlight,
The real highlight.
the real highlight of the show, 1 hour of pure, unadulterated, perfect entertainment comedy was Bobby Kimball of Toto, the original keyboard player, and sang a lot of their biggest hits.
Okay.
Hold the Line,
Yep.
Africa, he sang as well, didn't he?
Yeah,
Rosanna, I would
I think
guess,
so. I believe so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
involved. And obviously he sang those perfectly at this show, is what you're going
He
to tell us.
did a performance of those songs.
He did a performance art.
It was superb. I've never seen a man more confident, with more to say on stage and less to play. He, as a keyboardist, I expected him to maybe play keyboards.
Of course.
Nah, he was too busy telling us some real kind of like ego-inflating stories about himself.
Well, the video you sent was talking about like some sort of card that his mother gave him.
No, chords,
Chords!
which is even weirder.
Yeah, that
Yeah.
video really confused me.
I sent the guys a video whilst I was there, that my girlfriend was filming. He said he's there on stage with this kind of Mussolini mustache, this glittery jacket, just kind of constantly just chugging this water,
Yeah.
and talking nonsense.
Was it water or was it water?
It
'Cause
might
from
have
how
been
he was
bleach
acting-
from how he sounded. Like, kind of midway through, he's like, "Okay, so when I was 4 years old," he's like, I think it was his grandmother or someone was teaching him. She's like,
I thought it was
"She
his
showed
aunt
me-"
in the video.
His aunt.
If only there was a way
Cool.
we could check the video. But,
Yeah, true. I will put it up somewhere. I'll attach it when we put this up.
Yeah.
but you have to
sure.
find it.
He's like, she said, "Hey, Bobby, I'm going to teach you a chord." Now, that was when I was 4 years old, ladies and gentlemen. When I was 5, I knew 300 chords. What the fuck reaction do you do?
Oh, soon the crowd went mental. Right? But what was your reaction to that, Lewis?
I asked him to fucking play one.
And by ask, you mean screamed at the top of his lungs. It was a perfect reaction.
It was superb. I've never seen a man with more bravado and gusto just going for all of those notes.
Where was he on like the bill?
Headlining one of the
Fucking
nights.
hell.
Yeah. We went in and there was like maybe a couple. I don't know what the capacity is. A couple of thousand maybe.
Fuck, okay.
By the time he was done, maybe 100, 150.
Jeez.
Yeah, when you showed me that video, it looked like he'd cleared the room. It looked like
He
he'd
did.
walked on stage and then amplified a fart into the crowd.
It would have been less embarrassing.
Do you think they did a booking based on the original recordings? So they listen to the
that's
best
the
of
only
Toto and go,
excuse.
"This guy sounds great. Let's get him involved."
If you're doing a classic rock festival, you're like, oh, cool, we can get the guy who sung Africa to headline. You'd be 100%. You're like,
Yeah.
yes, get him on
Yeah.
board.
No, I haven't got time to listen to any recent samples of his singing.
There's a great video of him doing Africa that I will link to this one.
Is it kind of like the video on YouTube you can find of it's Africa, but the vocals are just off of the beat and slightly out of key?
His timing was good.
Yeah.
He wasn't slightly out of key. He really, that line was but a dot on the sand. It was
man.
superb. And I loved every second of it.
What are the odds that potentially either Vince Neil or Bret Michaels will headline this festival at some point?
Guess who's headlining next year?
Vince Neil.
Skid Row.
Skid Row, really? Wow, okay. Okay, cool, because you get to see him sing with, what's his name from Dragon Force, Zippy Fart, or Hart. He's the front man.
Zippy Fart.
Zippy Fart. It's like Zippy Fart or something like that, because it's like Heart with a T at the start of it.
Okay.
But the ex-Dragon Force singer now sings for Skid Row.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, cool. So it actually might be good.
Yeah, he does have a set of pipes on him, and also he's not going to be having to catch up with like the guitar going at like 10,000 miles an hour.
Because they had a guy called Johnny Solinger before, who was horrible.
Oh dear.
Yeah.
Yeah, glad they got rid of him then.
He kind of wanted to do a cross between cock rock and punk.
Cool.
Of nice Skid Row ballads. Yeah, dire.
Sounds a bit gross.
But no, okay, that actually sounds good.
Yeah,
But you're totally going to come.
Yeah, it sounds amazing.
Oh, it's absolutely
Yeah.
my wheelhouse. It ticks every box.
It's
that I want.
perfect. And the best thing as well is I think we were maybe some of the youngest people there.
I was going to ask what the mean age was there.
Dad rock.
Yeah.
It's dad rock.
absolutely.
It's just dads, as far as the eye can see.
Just denim. Just a sea of denim jackets, I reckon.
So many
So many
denim,
battle patches.
so many mullets.
How many
it's
Saxon t-shirts or patches did you see while you were there?
Absolutely loads.
Yeah,
Everywhere.
of course.
Couldn't move for them.
Yeah.
How many... Because it's always going to be stuff like Wishbone Ash or something. But
Yeah.
Oh, they
on their
played.
t-shirts. Did they actually play today? Yeah, see? Every time. That's really funny.
They were incredible.
Was-
They were really, really good.
Was, was Toya Wilcox there as well?
Possibly in the crowd.
Yeah.
Was she with Brum? That's the important thing. Was Brum with her? We need to know.
So it was great. During Bobby Kimball's performance, there was just so much weird shit going on. Because there's nothing better than just seeing a room full of dads absolutely hammered.
Yeah.
Dad's Unleashed.
Yeah, that's what it should be called. So it was that. There was this real old boy just facing away from the stage, leaning as far as the body can go, like Michael Jackson, just not falling over at all.
Full on Annie, are you okay?
Yeah, Annie, he wasn't okay. They were just passing him beers.
And
They were
Michael
going
Jackson
down.
had special shoes for that. I mean,
I imagine it was like the,
Yeah, these Crocs held
the,
up well.
the balance of alcohol just created like a sort of equilibrium in him, which kept him, so I had to keep feeding him beers to make sure he didn't keel over.
He said all the fluid's gone to his ankles. But yeah, there was a man fully, and these are all fully grown people I'm talking about. It's fantastic. He was walking around with a cardboard cutout of a spliff on.
Yeah, I saw
a
the video of
stick,
that.
just putting it up to people's mouths so it looked like they had this big cartoon spliff.
everyone was loving it.
Just flat out pissing himself.
I think he probably had like a big spliff that he was going to share, smoked it all, then realised that a cardboard spliff would be even better when he was high as fuck, and then smoked it with him.
it never runs out.
Yeah.
My girlfriend's mum sat down at the back for one gig, and there wasn't any seats, so she kind of just sat on the floor, just had a bit of a chill. And this same guy with the spliff came and threw money at her.
Oh my god.
So it was absolutely fantastic. We all had such a blast. Real good company, real good vibe. It's also weird because all the gigs I've been to for a real long time, or for the most part anyway, have been metal. So it's weird when you go to a gig and there's zero pushing. There's so much space. It was
sounds
really lovely.
great.
Honestly, these dads got it down.
Yeah, I can't be bothered with... Well, I never
Yeah,
could, but moshing's never my thing.
You need to get to more like slightly proggy metal or like guitar, like circle jerk, genty type gigs, because everyone there will be, no one's going to mosh. Everyone's going to be stood there just like
Arms
looking
crossed.
at like, crossed, either waiting to be impressed or staring at like fingers on the fretboard.
Judging time signatures.
Yeah.
I feel like Opeth
Precisely.
had a good mix of their gigs.
Yeah, definitely.
They're fun.
But also, I never get involved with the moshing anyway. I can't be bothered.
I last time I moshed was almost a year ago.
That's not that long ago. I thought you were going to say...
Yeah, but like before then it was probably a good 2 or 3 years. So I was watching Gojira and they started playing Heaviest Matter in the Universe, which is just killer song. And I was like, okay, I had a few drinks. I was like, I'm feeling this now. I'm getting in the pit. So I pushed down all the way to the front, got in the pit, got like smacked around, like spilled a bit of my beer, realised I was wearing like a jacket as well, and it was way too hot. But I'd also committed to being in there, so I was like, I'll stick this out. Yeah, this song is great.
I'll lose half my body weight in sweat. It's
Then
fine.
they go from that into, I think it's like maybe Toxic Garbage Island or something like that. So just bashing out like the fastest, heaviest songs they've got, one after the other. And I realised like, oh no, this is going to be the whole night, isn't it? And I just like, pushed my way back and I was like, I'm just going to the bar, guys, go to the bar.
I can handle it.
Yeah.
Who said I can't handle it? I can.
But on the way into the pit, I saw a friend of ours, Rose, and she was there, and I was like, I'm going to the pit, it's going to be great. And she saw me walking out, she was like, you had enough already?
Just refueling, actually.
just
going to get another drink, actually.
Yeah, more circle pit petrol.
But I think standing at the back, especially the O2 now, has its own sort of set of difficulties because you can now buy 2-pint glasses there,
Yes.
Yeah.
which is fine
Yes.
until if you're with a friend, like when me and Jim went to see Opeth, and then one of us had to use the toilet, which meant holding the other person's pint. So I've never been so petrified standing there holding like 4 pints of beer,
Yeah.
hoping to God nobody bumps into me because there's nothing I can do to stop a tidal wave of beer.
It's kind of like playing
Pouring
Edward
out.
40 hands. It's like
Yeah.
they're not taped to your hands.
Like if you hadn't gone to the toilet and just gone
40
home, it would have been a fate worse than death if he'd just gone home instead of going to the toilet.
Yeah.
I just stood
Yeah.
there stressing out. about
you
my giant
would
beers.
have to drink them.
Well, there's no way you can put them down. There's no way.
Yeah.
Too much weight to move. You see, you're pinned.
One of the nicest kind of parts of this because it's all in the day, and they do it as well. It's quite cool. So there's music from like 12 till 4, then it starts back up at 7.
That's great.
So you got time.
Perfect.
You're not missing anything. You can go chill out, go and drink. You can bring all your booze to the room.
Check
Yeah.
teletext
Okay.
if you might add, or whatever the equivalent is now.
See the races.
Look at the headlines. Yeah.
It was great. So at 3 p.m. on Friday, Saturday, I can't remember. We went to the bar to get a bottle of prosecco, which they can't obviously give you this big glass bottle of prosecco. So they just poured it into a jug and
Jug of prosecco.
Oh, yeah.
That's incredible.
Spending 25 quid on a jug of prosecco, watching Frank Osmo from Boston at 3 in the afternoon.
Wow.
It was surreal.
That's decadence. For you.
That is sensational.
That's rockstar decadence at its peak.
Well, talking of decadence, I think.
I was just going to ask, because Dan, you went to see a Maiden tribute band.
Yeah,
as well.
I went to a Maiden tribute on Friday called Ed Force One. I think it was their first gig, actually. I have a
I think
feeling.
it's my mate Paul Jones.
They were fucking excellent.
Cool.
They were so spot on. They were really good. They had like fake flames on the stage.
Oh, cool. Great. Cool.
Sort of material ones that are lit up,
Where was this?
billowing. I was at the Exchange.
Cool.
And they also, the singer pulled out the Union Jack flag for the trooper.
Wonderful.
Was waving it around. He referred to Wrathchild as something from the Jurassic era,
Yeah.
which is one of Bruce's
Yep.
best bits. I think at one point the guitarist, his string must have snapped or his guitar went wrong. Just handled it super smoothly.
Cool.
But they did Power Slave. Like they weren't just doing
Cool.
necessarily like the big hits. They were, but they did.
Yeah.
They bested out Power Slave. They ended with Hallowed Be Thy Name, which a real Maiden can't play at the moment because of legal reasons. So this is like the closest you're going to get to actual. I loved it. I had such a good time. In fact, I didn't bother with the. I think they were supporting a Foo Fighters tribute band.
Okay.
Just
Is that
didn't-
Pity the Fool? The Foo.
Pity the Foo, yeah.
Pity the
But I
Foo.
It's
just
a real good name for a tribute band.
it is
Genius.
I feel
But,
like they had to form that band just because someone thought of a name.
That's why I can't wait to get Motley Who up and running.
Oh,
Perfect.
nice. I like
Thanks, guys.
But yeah, I just didn't feel like because it's weird to me having it that way around with a Foo Fighters band, a tribute band supporting, being supported by Iron Maiden because the Iron Maiden guys are really going for it and doing a big sort of show in a limited sort of
yeah.
Stage. And then I didn't see the Foo Fighters band; they might have been really good, but with a Foo Fighters tribute band, it just feels like
Yeah.
what can you do? It's not like Maiden with it's like big stage props and stuff and
Get
sort of-
silly
yeah.
with it.
silly with
Like-
it. Like I love Foo Fighters; they're one of my favourite bands. Be quiet, Lewis. But just in case you jumped in there, one of you- Funny little comment.
If you
No, I'm
just joking. I'm joking,
If
but-
I tell people I like Foo Fighters and like I'm really excited for like their gigs and their album stuff, people, I always get met with like a degree of disdain because they are definitely a middle of the road rock band for sure, but like they're good at what they do.
Yeah, it's just like Nickelback.
Fuck off.
Did it? What did I tell you? What did I fucking tell you, Lewis?
Nothing.
But
I
yeah,
said
but
nothing.
Yes, both the frontman have long horse type faces.
they're called
Yes,
Air
they were
Force.
both the grunge bands, but that's where the similarities end. Okay.
I was just thinking of that Nickelback song with was it Twisted Roller Coaster?
Oh,
The one about cocaine.
Yeah, I kind of missed that one. It was weird, like kind of disco vibe to it.
But anyway, we'll get onto it in our Nickelback
yeah.
7
yeah.
podcast retrospective. But yeah, they're called Air Force One. Absolutely check them out if they're near you. The singer nailed the vocals as well, which obviously, with Maiden in particular, is such a big key part
Yep.
of that. Loved it.
Cool.
Absolutely loved it.
I
Yeah.
think they're actually friends of mine from uni. So
That's really cool.
yeah, big shout, boys. Well done. You've impressed Nelms.
Bravo. and I've
that's-
seen the real Maiden, so
And there you
Yeah.
go. And this is free exposure right now.
Precisely.
So how about we make it not free?
Brother Earth. Okay.
pony up.
Friends.
We're always just trying to get paid. That's all we want. Just finding new, interesting ways to make money. Speaking of ways to make money, the band we're going to be talking about today never hesitate or struggle to find a way to make a buck from their fans?
Led Zeppelin?
No. Have another guess.
Wishbone Ash.
I think they're struggling to make a buck. Yeah. Tool. Yeah.
I'm trying to think of bands that always exploit their music and put in everything they can. So Led Zeppelin, Tool.
Yeah, close. By the way, just reckon, I've not gone to any gigs this weekend, but I did have a great time listening to Def Leppard on Spotify.
Oh yeah, they're on there now, guys.
Finally, made me so happy.
The fact they held out longer than AC/DC really surprised me.
It's great. If you don't know Def Leppard, this band's kind of up and coming at the moment from Sheffield.
Yeah.
Someone should really give these guys a break.
Just some working lads.
Yeah.
Someone should give these guys a TV movie.
Some podcast should cover that TV
It's
movie.
gonna happen, yeah.
Someone should give these guys an album called Songs from the Sparkle Lounge. Oh man, Def Leppard are great. Can we just talk about them instead of what we're going to talk about?
No, unfortunately.
Hey, Nams.
No.
Nope.
Cool. So today on Slowly We Rock, we are talking about. Hey, yeah, you are the best. You got the worst. We are talking about Kiss's music from The Elder.
Quotation marks, The Elder.
The Elder. Quotation marks, The Elder. Yeah. Where do we start with this one?
Well, I just like
On the
to.
last track, keep it short.
I'd like to point out this is our first dive into the shit list.
I guess so. Yeah.
Blacklist didn't count
No.
because
That's,
count as
that's more like the shit heap than the shit
this
list.
is good bands doing bad.
So we came up with the concept of the shit list, and it's basically, it could be good bands, it could be bad bands, it could be good bands that made a bad album, it could be bad bands that even made like a good or interesting album, I guess. It's just like...
And here we got all of the above.
Yeah, all...
This is like... I guess it is shit albums, but it's more so like, what the fuck were you thinking?
Yeah, exactly, precisely. Just for anyone who doesn't know, and I'm just going to read the Wikipedia summary just to, introduce the band Kiss. I feel like everyone must know Kiss. They're not just like a big rock band, they are like, they're pop culture. Their makeup is instantly recognisable. Everyone who's ever listened to any rock music has probably heard a Kiss song.
They're a marketing force of nature, aren't they?
They're a marketing force of nature.
I think they are.
According to Wikipedia, Kiss, an American rock band formed in New York City in 1973 by Paul Stanley, Gene Simmons, and Peter Criss, and Ace Frehley, are well known for their members' face paint, stage outfits, and elaborate live performances, which included fire breathing, blood spitting, smoking guitars, shooting rockets, levitating drum kits, and pyrotechnics.
Sign me up.
Yeah.
Precisely. I mean, if I were to sum up Kiss's sound, it goes from like classic 70s, 80s arena rock. All the songs are very straight to the point, like big anthemic choruses.
But nearly all about one thing.
Yeah, they're usually about how much they love to rock, or how much they love to fuck, or how much they love to party.
Or how much they like to sexualise 16-year-olds called Christine. In the song Christine 16.
Yeah, I would. If I had to, apart from like the impending Operation U Tree, I would say if I had to describe the music of Kiss, it would be fun, good time, turn off your brain.
Yeah, party rock.
It's
Party music.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
It's the kind of music that comes on in a bar, you turn to your friend, you both give each other the horns and stick your tongues out.
Exactly.
Absolutely.
And you turn and say, hey.
We've all done that, the three of us together, I'm sure we'll have.
You turn to your buddy and say, hey, I want to rock and roll all night. And your buddy says, and party every day? You go, yeah, I don't know. I've got a job now. I'm an adult. It's tough to
I think that's how they wrote that song as well.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
But in 1981, they recorded one of the strangest, most uncharacteristic albums of any band. It's such a 180.
Yes.
The album is called Music from the Elder, and it's a fantasy concept album based on a story written by Gene Simmons.
I think...
Who was an ex-school teacher.
How would you summarise it, Lewis?
Well, I think I'm going to have to use the words from Ultimate Classic Rock because they've kind of nailed this here. So just after they'd had their... Because this came after 2 disco albums, which a lot of Kiss fans hated.
yeah. I think the
There were
song...
some great tunes on them.
I Was Made for Loving You... is-
Absolute disco tune.
It's a great song, but if you think in the 70s, like, disco was so polarising, wasn't
Yeah.
it? Like, it was insanely popular, but the people who hated it fucking hated it.
And it didn't really gel with a lot of the rock crowd.
Yeah, so of course Kiss cashed in on the success of disco.
Well, eager to reverse their fortunes, Kiss brought in producer Bob Ezrin, who would help them create their 1976's smash hit album Destroyer. makes sense.
Yep.
Go back and get your
Great album.
your roots. So they wanted to make a back to basics rock record to win back their original followers. Instead, the project took a turn into some very strange territory. Turns out, Ezrin was still riding high on the success of his last project, Pink Floyd's ambitious and mega successful concept album, The Wall.
No way.
It totally makes sense.
But also that,
He convinced Kiss to try their hands at creating a similar record filled with woodwinds, a string section, and an overarching, if maddeningly vague, storyline about a young medieval Jesus Christ, a young medieval boy's journey to become a noble warrior of some sort.
That's such a beautiful description
It's
of this album.
perfect, yeah.
That Pink Floyd thing makes a lot of sense as well.
Yeah, and also none.
Yeah, precisely.
Yeah, except for that one song where I joked earlier, it sounded like Pink Floyd.
Oh, the one with the acoustic intro.
Yeah.
That's the first main track, isn't it? The first actual song.
Following up The Wall with music from the Elder
Yeah.
is absolutely bizarre.
That makes me think The Wall was blind luck. This guy doesn't know what he's doing, clearly.
Yeah.
So, just as a good introductory quote from Gene Simmons, we were convinced that we were making our Sergeant Pepper. Basically, Music from the Elder was an art rock concept album based on fantasy tale written by Simmons and conceived as the soundtrack to a Hollywood blockbuster.
Oh, that's why it's called Music from the Elder.
Yeah, so their initial plan for this album was to get a film made alongside it about the story of the album, and it was also going to be
About what would the plot be?
So the film
we never find out. It ends on a cliffhanger.
the film would be called The Elder, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah, and the album would be Music from the Elder, I guess. Yeah.
So no film was ever made,
No, because the album was an absolute flop for them.
and they stuck with the quotation marks around the Elder
Yep.
as if there is an existing film.
Yeah, precisely.
Fantastic.
I think maybe they're hoping that people would think, oh, what's the Elder? And they say, well, actually, and they get so much hype up about it that someone would come on and say, we need to make this Elder movie. Because I guess they've done like their animated specials and stuff like that at some point.
Yeah.
Meeting up with Scooby-Doo.
Yeah, precisely. So they were obviously like a huge. I try to remember whether Kiss Saves Christmas is a real thing or
No,
something I've seen on.
That's the Family Guy.
Oh, is it? Oh,
That's the Family Guy gag. But they did do. There's an episode where they're on Scooby-Doo.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They just.
Okay.
Screw the Elder. Someone needs to make Kiss Saves Christmas.
Yeah, it just needs to happen.
For sure.
So, should we start with a breakdown of the songs then? Should we start
Yes,
going through
yeah.
these bad boys?
But
Yeah.
also, I think a crucial part to get an idea of how sort of rubbish this album is, it's
I don't know.
it's meant to be.
Rubbish, Dan.
I mean, I'm not gonna reveal quite yet how I feel about it. I'm gonna keep my cards close to the chest. But it's meant to be obviously your classic sort of concept album that tells a story from start to finish. Except depending on what release of the album it is, the tracks are in different orders.
What?
So I think if it's on the Wikipedia page, it says that there's 2 or 3 releases of the album at various dates over the years, and sometimes they've reordered the tracks a bit, which makes it even more confusing as to what the story is. It's also, I would say, the overall story of this album is the most generic. I mean, Gene Simmons says he wrote it. I don't believe it.
To brag
On the
about.
back of a Kit Kat
It's the
packet.
most. So here's the plot of this, from what I can work out. A young boy, possibly an orphan, is a nobody, gets approached by a wise old man and told he's destined for greatness.
Gene Simmons would play the wise old man in the movie,
Yeah.
right?
Trains to become great and becomes a hero. The end.
Now, I had...
Because I've actually got a quote about what the actual story is.
Something about the Order of the Rose as well, isn't it?
So, the story of the Elder
A young boy named Gene.
was written by Simmons during a stay at a Beverly Hills hotel and was allegedly a metaphor for good and evil. So, real original concept there. The Elder are a life form without body, he explains. They are
Cool.
They are
This is just his
benevolent.
disdain for old people.
Yeah, they are benevolent, but committed to the balance of opposites. And then, when darkness gets too strong, a hero is born to restore the balance. And this is the story of the origin of the hero.
They mention a lot of very, very specific biblical things in this
Yeah,
as
yeah.
well.
I guess we'll start from the top then
Yeah,
with the
okay.
tracks, okay? So, when I first listened to this, because I was at work and I messaged you guys, because the first thing that comes on is just called the track called Fanfare, and it's just some really shoddy sounding like
It's country fair type.
It's like Renaissance fair, tooting
that's it.
horns. Yeah,
It's not bombastic like you would expect something called fanfare to be.
It's actually, do you know what? The whole thing's like a fucking school play.
The way I feel like the sound of this album, if I describe it, especially with the first couple of songs, is fantasy lounge music. It's got a weird sort of. They haven't quite. We'll get into it obviously when we track by track. The first couple of tracks, especially, they haven't quite shaken off the disco sound, and it's sort of a little bit. Like, I think the track Odyssey, I think it is, and maybe Just a Boy, just sounds a little bit fantasy lounge, a little bit relaxed. Hey, come in.
Definitely.
I'm Paul Stanley singing at a grand piano about fantasy stuff. Enjoy yourself.
What I loved about Fanfare was, because I thought, okay, Kiss have made a concept album, but I thought it was just going to be a regular Kiss album where the lyrics weren't about sex, drugs, and rock and roll.
Yeah.
And as soon,
They're about wizards.
as soon as that kicked in, like, my jaw dropped, and I was like, oh my fucking god, they're serious. Like, they legitimately commit to the concept for the most part.
It's
like,
not what you think about Kiss at all.
Yeah. It goes straight into, I guess, what is the first proper track, Just a Boy.
I am just a boy.
Paul Stanley's voice sounds like nothing
Insane.
I've heard before or after. It doesn't really quite sound like him. He sounds like he's doing an impression of someone who doesn't exist. Do you know what I mean? He sounds really off.
It's all weird.
Yeah.
None of the vocals are completely in time with each other. Like,
I'm also not
Yeah.
sure when Gene sings and when Paul sings on this album.
no, they're doing all these
Sometimes
weird
I
voices.
am.
You can tell
Sometimes I
it's-
can. I mean,
yeah.
sometimes I'm like, who is that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because Paul is, apart from I Am Just a Boy on the chorus there, he's kind of lowered his register a little bit in that he's maybe singing an octave lower than, or two lower than normal, because it sounds like he's trying to be a bit more serious with the and sell the story.
I think there he's just singing from the heart.
Yeah.
Do you think he's
It's
actually
so,
trying?
It's so sincere, this album.
Like,
It's
he's actually
so
putting effort
sincere.
in. He's really trying.
And the whole thing just sounds like some lost 70s like prog rock epic, but made in 1981. Like, it feels like they were like 6 or 7 years too late on the boat.
Easily.
It's
Keep in mind as well, Van Halen had just come out.
yeah. We're also 1 year after British Steel,
Yeah.
Ace of Spades,
Yeah.
Back in Black.
Yeah. Guys, they
Yeah.
did this.
After some of the most influential. Heaven and Hell.
Yeah.
Blizzard of Oz.
Also,
So
it's
basically,
the kind of band that would be doing like weird fantasy shit. It's given up on it.
didn't even bother. Like, when Dio has dropped the Fantasy Concept album,
Kiss need to pick up that
Kids have to
gauntlet.
think- yeah, precisely. Take the reins.
Paul Stanley.
And then Van Halen 1 came out a couple of years prior. It's like all of the huge albums which defined a lot of 80s rock came out. And Kiss completely missed it because they were so busy doing disco that they didn't realise what people actually enjoyed listening to in like 1981.
and then Gene Simmons went, "Hey, I've written a story.
Yeah,
Let's put it to music."
No, Jesus did say that. He said, "This story needs to be told."
Yeah, the original release of this album was 12 tracks, and the one we've been listening to has 11, I think.
Okay.
It ends with an instrumental originally. It's also a couple of the songs in completely different order.
Oh, but the instrumental ends with, is it maybe just the...
I think it's probably the end bit of I. But also, like, Odyssey on the original album came on track 10. On this one we've been listening to is track 3. Like, how do you do a concept album and go, actually, let's just shift around all the parts? I don't feel like that's your biggest sort of strength of storytelling there.
I feel like the word concept could not have been used looser than on this album.
Gene
It's
Simmons.
kind of weird because it feels like they're quite committed to it to begin with, and then they forget they're doing a concept album at various points, so then it goes back to being a concept album, because like musically, the way it starts off is so anti-Kiss. Like, all the tracks sort of merge together.
Can I throw out an opinion?
Yes, you can, absolutely.
Just a Boy, the music and the
So
chorus
you
and
didn't
everything.
pronounce it properly. You just pronounce it properly.
Oh, sorry. Just a boy.
Oh, now I know what you're on about.
Yeah.
Sorry, guys.
Yeah.
The music and everything on that, I think it's like genuinely really well constructed, and it feels like they've put some real effort in, and that's where it fucking ends.
Yeah, and also I think the problem is, even when they've done that, you're still thinking, this is a Kiss album.
Yeah.
Like, even though it is maybe well put together or whatever, but it's still like, this is Kiss. It's...
But I'm fine with that. Trying a new thing, cool. And I think that I like the chorus of that. I'm no hero.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I quite enjoyed
it
that.
sets you up for a very big fall with what huge follows.
I don't know, because I think maybe, like, this album arose by any other name.
I think you've got Stockholm.
A Rosebud.
Yeah, I think if this album was released by a different band, people may feel a little bit differently about it. What fascinates me so much about it is it's the most un-Kiss thing possible.
But I don't think
why I like it so much.
I think the problem is, I don't think
I like Kiss, but I like that they were crazy enough to go. Because if you think about it as well, the fanfare to Dynasty, which is their disco album, it did well, but a lot of their fans didn't like it. Then they did another one after that called Unmasked.
Dynasty.
Turns out the album which they took their face paint off was not called Unmasked. I don't know why. Yeah, which is weird. But anyway, that album apparently didn't do very well. So this wasn't just a thing that, we'll give this a shot. This was their attempt at a huge reinvention. They were against the ropes on the back foot. And this is make or break for us. Because Peter Criss had left as well. The album before. Yeah. And after this album, Ace Frehley quit as well.
Yeah, good.
It all makes sense.
But also, I think with the album, the problem is it's not. I don't think it's particularly good, but it's also not
wrong.
But it's also not awful.
No, it's incredible.
It doesn't stay. It doesn't stay in the mind as being truly one of the worst things I've ever listened to in my life.
No, it's listenable.
It's forgettable as well, though.
Yes, hugely.
And it's just
what?
I'm completely indifferent to it.
Yeah.
Apart from one track, which we'll get to.
After hearing this, I wanted to hear Symphony of the Elder. I wanted to hear Poem of the Elder. I want to see the movie.
I wanted to watch The Elder. Yeah.
I wanted all of it.
I want to buy the puppets.
I have listened to this album so many times in the last 2 weeks. I don't know what the fuck is wrong with me.
Go to the doctors.
I genuinely like this album.
This was us last week with Black Lace.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah. I think we've all lost our minds.
I think that was it, yeah.
The thing is, when I was first discovered this album years and years ago, I assumed for some reason in my head until recently that it was called Music from the Elder, Part 1.
Yeah.
Which I think maybe is wishful thinking
I
on my
thought it was
part.
cool. Yeah, I thought it was cool.
But all they have to do is release another one and it suddenly becomes Part 1.
I think it was actually a joke that we made that then we believed.
It's probably like a Leonard Part 6 thing. I'm going to reference that every podcast.
I've just found an amazing quote about this album from Classic Rock. Basically, Frehley had Lucky Escape leaving. For a band that had built its success on simplistic anthems, Music from the Elder was a huge leap in terms of ambition. Sadly, the vision far outstripped the reality. The likes of Just a Boy in the Oath sounds like a bunch of brickies trying to do Andrew Lloyd Webber.
Yeah, cool. Well, it's been fun, guys. There's nothing more for us to say.
We should probably read out this Classic Rock article from start to finish. That'll be the whole
Parts
thing.
of it does sound like a poor man's version of, only because I've discovered it recently, but it does sound like a poor man's version of parts of Jesus Christ Superstar in terms of the ambition and what they're trying to get across.
It's so weird on this album as well because...
But there's not a song on Jesus Christ Superstar called Mr. Blackwell. So.
It takes so long to actually get to just a straight up rocking song as well.
Yeah.
Because the Odyssey just has that really big string production and everything. You can tell they're going for the soundtrack thing there.
The Odyssey as well. I think that summed up for me lyrically how pompous and bullshit and also at the same time completely lacking in any kind of...
There's no fantasy.
Texture. Nothing. The lyrics...
This could be about a butcher's apprentice.
It says, there's a child in a sundress looking at a rainy sky. Ooh, arty.
That could have been this morning in Bristol.
Yeah, it's all just juxtaposition that means absolute dick all. There's a place in the desert where an ocean once did lie.
Yeah, but also, do you not notice he says sundress, but it's raining?
Exactly, that's what I mean.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's so weird.
I mean, maybe you're not getting it. Maybe it's too clever for you.
It kind of can't...
Deserts don't have water in them, but an ocean does.
It can't make up its mind whether it wants to be a fantasy album or a sci-fi
toilet
album.
Oh.
He's again toilet.
Yeah, this is primo toilet music.
But if you do want to get
No, guys.
Guys, there are some...
This is just misunderstood.
No, to be fair though, I listened to it on Spotify. There are some really big rocking songs on it. Because on Spotify, when you get to the end of it, it just plays other Kiss songs. So when I got to the end of this album, it's only kicked in with Detroit Rock City. So highly recommended for that reason.
I listened to it before we started recording, and as soon as the album finished, it kicked straight into Love Gun on Spotify.
Great song.
I actually started moving a little bit, and
Because it woke you up. From
Yeah,
the
I actually,
comatose state that you were in.
it was a moment of clarity. I was like, oh yeah, this is what Kiss actually sound like.
He said disappointed.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah, this is what fun is. I remember.
But I love this album so much.
I mean, right, can we just get to it? Who is Mr. Blackwell?
No, we're not there yet. We'll get to it in time. I think maybe if we
Spoiler
relate
alert.
to the album, it will explain what's going on. The next song is called Only You, which again, really slow, kind of merging with that. It's almost like a Between the Buried and Me album. It makes you work for it, okay?
Fuck are you saying? What? I think they got speed confused with being epic. I feel like they went, if we slow our songs down, they'll automatically become these big epic anthems.
And then get like the big production in there
yeah.
as well.
I think that's all we've done is gone, we're known for our fast tempo songs, let's slow the tempo down and it will automatically become like all those bullshit acoustic versions of like 80s pop songs at the moment.
Yeah.
It's
the John Lewisification.
Yeah,
of pop
where-
music, yeah.
I feel like they got speed mixed up with the sugar in their coffee because you have to be high to write something this absolutely.
You think they actually took some steam?
Because
Meaningless.
there's no way they did drugs before this album. No way.
Because apparently this is, I think as well they'd kind of got clean as well because one of the issues
maybe
was
that explains
that
it.
Peter Criss and Ace Frehley were like the big drinkers
Yeah.
and party, like, you know, I think Gene Simmons and Paul Stanley, obviously they enjoy the finer things, but they've always had their heads screwed on because they're very business savvy as well.
Well, it's Vince Neil said to Gene Simmons, hey, what do you do if you don't drink, if you don't do drugs? What do you do after a concert to come down from it? He goes, I fuck.
Ugh, gross.
He said, but then what do you do? I fuck again.
That's great, Gene Simmons.
Gross.
Thanks,
Also,
man.
I mean, he's been in a long-term relationship with like an adult film actress, so he obviously does fuck.
Boy fucked.
Yeah.
Oh, I don't want to think about Gene Simmons making love to anybody.
No.
Yeah, you do.
Oh yeah, I do. Thanks.
Because I was gonna say, because weirdly enough, on this song, Only You, I feel like because this is I think the first one which Gene Simmons sings on, and like the lyrics are. Again, it's weird because Gene Simmons tones down the sleaziness on this album for the most part. We'll get to your favourite song in a bit.
Yeah.
And he gets like more like philosophical Simmons. But like, he stopped
I
asking.
hope he calls himself that.
Yeah,
Hey guys, it's
he's
philosophical Simmons
he
here.
stopped asking if you want to like suck on his dick and asking more if you know like the meaning to of life and stuff like
If you
that.
got to suck on his words.
Yeah, suck on his-
Oh, Love Gun.
yeah.
Oh, hang on. Okay. Sorry.
No,
I thought it was about Cupid's arrow. Sorry.
Dr. Love is currently being sued for malpractice. Yeah, no, like the lyrics are Only You, it's like, only you have the answers, but the questions you have to find, only you know the secrets, but the truth lies deep in your mind.
Sorry. He was an ex-school teacher. This is just what he said to his kids.
I cannot believe Gene Simmons was a school teacher.
What?
Gene Simmons was a school teacher before we did Kiss.
Mr. Simmons is a very school teacher name.
Yeah.
It is, yeah.
And also, that's the sort of thing you say to kids about, only you've got the potential inside you to unlock the fantasy key.
When you don't have an answer.
But I feel if Gene Simmons had stayed in the teaching profession for longer...
He'd have been arrested.
He would have been signing a register, yeah, and had to go door to door and explain who he was to the neighbourhood.
Just look up the song Christine 16.
Yeah.
Listen to the spoken word section.
Also, the chorus to Only You is, only you are the man-child.
Oh yeah, that made me laugh as well.
See, that took me by surprise.
That actually stood out to me because I sort of phased out of this album when I was listening to it. And then as soon as, only you're the man-child, it got me right back into it. Only you are the man-child.
This is also like the first bit where an actual like riff kicks in. Towards the end, it's got a kind of good, kind of groovy riff to it. But we're like 4 songs into the album, and they've only just brought a riff to the proceedings.
Is that the down, 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 down?
Yeah.
Actually, I quite like that.
But I think that's a good riff. Yeah.
That's
but
cool.
you have to make it through Gene Simmons whispering all these big meaning of life type questions.
That's
before you get to
why
it.
it's not a terrible... I mean, I don't like this album, but it's not enough to be completely shit.
No.
There's moments, and I think I find it more frustrating, there's moments where they're actually doing something that's like, and then they ruin it by singing like, you're a man-child.
I don't think it ruins it. I just think it's not that it's bad. It's just that it's so fascinating in how weird and how not Kiss it is.
No, I do also think it's bad.
I mean, it's the last time they tried anything like this.
Yeah.
I mean, I never did Psycho Circus and released a video game and stuff around that, but
Great tune.
even then it was still Kiss. It wasn't
exactly.
a terrible game.
So this is Under the Rose.
This song is the best and the worst because it's the most full-on fantasy I think they go on the whole album. Like the music matching the concept. It sounds like Blind Guardian.
Yeah,
I think the problem is the production's all a bit flat for me for a fantasy album as well. There's not enough. I want it to be bigger, I think. Because I can absolutely hear what they're going for in their sound and songwriting.
No, I think with like a lot of the production, there's some big because you've got like the strings and the horns and stuff.
I mean,
like
for
that.
Kiss it's big, but for I guess it's for what we know fantasy albums to be now. It's not quite as.
Yeah, but I mean,
find it a bit flat.
Yeah, if you compare it to like say, like a Blind Guardian when they did their symphonic albums or like symphonic metal stuff like that, then yeah, this is really flat in comparison.
Yeah, but if you also combine it to any fantasy albums that came out a decade prior to this, it's flat.
No, I know. It is.
But actually, if you compare it to The Wall, which he produced before, which sounds fucking huge.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
The fuck was he doing on the wall?
Though you understand, will you sacrifice? Do you take the oath? Will you give your life under the rose? None of what they're talking about is ever explained in any way. It's not in a story way. It's like, hey, here's a concept that could be part of a story.
That's what the movie's for. They would flesh it out. You got to read the novelisation of the album of the soundtrack from the film.
It doesn't exist yet.
It doesn't exist yet. I mean, all it takes is for one more album to be out, and it's part one.
Yeah, precisely. God, I wish if like out of the blue, Kiss just decided to follow up on it and actually do music from the Elder Part 2 randomly.
Imagine
it would be incredible.
Beautiful.
Imagine if the young adult movie adaptations hadn't sort of petered out as much as it has, and they ran out of young adult novels to do. And returned to this. And went, let's adapt this album.
Yeah, they ran out of like the Scorch Games and the Hunger Trials and
they
Twilights and stuff like that.
If they
deliberately got
movie,
those two mixed up just to be, satirical.
Yeah.
It's clever.
Yeah.
If they do this as a film, I want Paul Stanley to be playing the boy in this.
Yeah.
Now, as he is now.
Showing off his artwork.
Like dressed like Severus Snape again. He did for Halloween.
But also kind of like Dennis Reynolds in It's Always Sunny, where he plays the little boy.
The thing is, Gene Simmons had a bit of an acting career for a while, so
he did, yeah.
he could do it. I mean, I don't know about Paul Stanley, but
He was great in that coffee commercial.
Gene Simmons plays the bad guy in Wanted Dead or Alive, where he fights Rutger Hauer. He's a bounty hunter after. Well recommended your time. I think someone gets killed by an exploding shopping trolley in it.
Excellent.
Gene Simmons. Gene Simmons.
I quite enjoy this one.
Dark Light.
Well, so this is a weird thing.
Dark Light.
These two songs, Under the Rose and Dark Light, are both the name of hymn songs from the album Dark Light.
Oh.
Yeah, it's real weird. Just for the record, the actual hymn song Dark Light is as trash as the song Dark Light from this Kiss album.
I felt like with Dark Light, they wrote some sort of dummy lyrics to get the rhymes down and then forgot to change them.
Yeah, let's just get the melody sorted. The lyrics will sort themselves afterwards.
Yeah.
It feels, the whole thing feels like a demo.
Did you finish those lyrics? Yeah, sure thing. I've just done now. Yeah, great guys.
Based on tunes whistled by Peter Criss. What's the chorus of Dark Light really stands out as being particularly awful.
It's a dark light, a darkness never ending. A dark light of perversion and hate. A dark night is everywhere descending. A dark light, there's no time to wait.
I know, they alternate.
They alternate, yeah. You can tell Ace Frehley was like once foot out the door at this point. Like he does not want to sing this song. He
barely came back
after.
after. He came back once, I think, for one of the live albums.
Yeah, he goes, "Watch out, or it's Sodom and Gomorrah, the malevolent."
That stood out to me.
bit.
The Sodom and Gomorrah bit stood out again. It was biblical.
Which is so fucking weird.
No, Gene Simmons was a teacher, so he knows. He's read a lot of books, mate.
Yeah, your opinion's basically worth a popcorn fart, you see.
Popcorn fart.
Nice.
Yeah, callback. The one thing I noticed about this song, though, is because this album isn't particularly solo-y as well. Like, it's almost hot. Again, I think of Kiss, like, Ace Frehley just, like, shredding over, like, big songs.
Is this the one with the actual, like, shreddy guitar solo?
Yeah.
That guitar solo is fucking trash.
It is, isn't it?
It's absolute garbage. He does the same lick for about a minute straight.
Sounds like he's warming up. They put it on there.
It sounds like when you're like 14 and you're learning to play this song in your bedroom.
It also sounds like he just did it out of spite as well. It's like, oh, we're going to need a solo. So okay, whatever. Wheedle. Yeah, there you go. Fucking done. Yeah. Pay me.
You'll never replace me.
The nice thing about it though is the fact that like it's the fucking centerpiece of the album. It's bang smack in the middle.
I know.
I mean, like the definitive statement.
This album, I will give him credit for going completely out there and trying.
I think trying's a fun word.
It's really ballsy.
Yeah, I like how misplaced their ambition was. They rolled the dice. Probably literally because they were probably playing Dungeons and Dragons.
Yeah, I was going to say the 20-sided dice.
D6. But they basically kind of thought, okay, this is going to be the thing which defines us for the next decade or next 5 years or whatever. I mean, even longer if they're going to do a movie about it or two.
Yeah. Well, a trilogy.
And they completely fucked it up.
Do you know what?
were just so wrong at what people would possibly want from a Kiss album.
If they sat down, played Dungeons and Dragons for even half an hour, they would have a more interesting and coherent story.
There's no way you could ever get Gene Simmons to sit down and play Dungeons and Dragons.
Oh,
Ever. Paul Stanley, he's there. He'd probably be DM.
He
would love it.
Christ,
Paul Stanley would be wonderful to play Dungeons and Dragons.
He'd bring his own cloak.
Gene Simmons would be like,
absolutely.
he'd be the guy who goes, I pull out a machine gun, or I get into my Jeep Wrangler and drive away, or
When do I get to go down on this elf chick?
yeah, exactly. I stay at the inn and just bang. He'd be like, well, Paul Stanley would be.
Oh yeah, I've already wenches in this tavern.
Yeah.
All
of them.
What's your special ability, Jeez? Jesus Simmons.
Hey, jeez.
Jeez.
Yo, jeez.
I'm immortal. Cool.
Yeah.
All right, this is going to be fun.
Oh no, the dragon killed you. No, it didn't.
Yeah.
He'd be miserable to play with. Whereas Paul Stanley, lovely. I bet.
He'd be doing all the voices.
He'd be doing.
Yeah.
He'd have done some artwork to give you sort of set the mood for what you're doing.
I can also imagine Gene Simmons would also be sat
Brewing
at
coffee.
the table wearing sunglasses indoors at night.
Yep.
And so would his character.
Yeah.
Working out.
Well, his character would just be
Gene Simmons.
Yeah, the demon. Yeah. I've got my platform boots of empowerment.
I have this massive wallet.
Yeah.
Cool.
God, I'm still going on.
But you love.
Oh, after that we go into a world without heroes.
This album's still going on, but
I
you
know,
love.
it's so exciting.
It's weird you would say going on, isn't it?
And
It's,
we get
strange.
we get more of
Sheer lyrics.
yeah, more philosophical
Lyrics.
Simmons. Yeah, like you can really tell because on stuff like this song especially, like it really feels like he's pouring his heart out with his vocal performance. Like he's turned down the sleaziness. It sounds like he's being so sincere. You can tell he came up with the fantasy concept for this, and that it might be a little bit near and dear to him.
Yeah,
No.
but it also turns out that his heart is completely bland and uninspired.
It turns out he heard someone on the subway mention Lord of the Rings once. And
Yeah.
he's like, I get the gist.
Tell me about it.
It's literally the hero's journey, but not quite even that basic.
We just even set off on the journey.
Oh,
by the end
No,
of
it's
the
just
song.
a hero. And now this is without heroes. It's
Yeah.
like, what's these lyrics mean?
But it is
Well,
refreshing to have a...
I guess the song is the argument of why they need this hero, the man-child, to step up.
I just think
Okay.
it's refreshing to have
Also,
a
if
fantasy
your hero
story.
is called the man-child,
Yeah.
I'd expect this to be like a grown man throwing like a tantrum.
Yep.
Also,
Will Ferrell.
Yeah.
here's an idea. Why wasn't it the Star Child? And why was it more about them as
Yep.
fictional characters?
I know.
That's
That's the biggest question I had about this. That's what
Yeah.
I was going to ask at the end of this. That's the first thing I
demon.
thought of.
Yeah.
The cat with a
cat.
very small role.
There's a fox at this point. Because
Bruce, Thingy wasn't on this anymore. It was
Eric Carr had come in and he was the cat. Yeah, no, sorry, the
Fox.
fox. Yeah.
Who was the Yank? Where's the guy who came in?
Eric Singer,
Oh, it must
wasn't
have been the guy after Ace Frehley became the Yank. One guy had an Yank on his face.
After World Without Heroes? Very short, very sincere.
I don't want to think
heart
about
on
World Without
sleeve.
Heroes though. Imagine
Yeah.
how bleak that would be.
We go into Dan, your favourite song. on the
Mr.
whole
Blackwell.
album. Yeah.
So many questions. Number one, everyone at home, don't just do what I did. I meant to Google Mr. Blackwell lyrics. Just Googled Mr. Blackwell, and you'll enjoy this picture that comes up all the time.
Let me see.
This old man comes up.
Fashions Mr. Blackwell.
He's a fashion designer, and he looks wonderful in every picture. We'll try and put a picture up if we can of him. Everything about his picture is better than this song. This song is insane. I assume it's autobiographical from the point of view of Gene Simmons. Is Mr. Blackwell meant to be the villain?
That was my first thought, yeah.
Because to me, most of this album sounds like your typical, if not medieval, then medieval adjacent fantasy. So like your Game of Thrones or your Lord of the Rings.
Yeah.
Mr. Blackwell, the way they describe him sounds like he lives in a sort of rundown New York tenement building. And and he's looking to destroy these medieval people for some reason. It really sticks out like a sore thumb.
He just sounds like an asshole landlord.
Yeah.
I imagine when I was hearing this, I was like, oh, this character's definitely wearing sunglasses.
Like, I imagine in the pilot episode for like the American version of Rising Damp, Mr. Roper would have been renamed as Mr. Blackwell. That's what it really stands out to me. This song.
Leonard Ross.
Yeah, Leonard Rossiter doing an American Mr. Blackwell.
Oh fuck, that's incredible. Gene Simmons definitely plays this guy, I think, in the movie.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, this is him.
I assume that he's like some sort of...
Rigsby, sorry.
I would assume that he's like maybe some sort of devil at the crossroads who's trying to maybe tempt the hero from the path or something. Like, this is me trying to make sense of this song.
He refers to this fantasy world as a crummy hole.
Yeah, I know.
Is it maybe more of like a confessional then?
Oh, has he got like a portal that makes him go to this fantasy/medieval?
I don't know.
There's nothing fantastical. That's the other thing about this album. There's nothing really fantastical about it in terms of what it's describing.
No, they've just got flutes.
And then, yeah.
I don't know.
But then,
I think
Mr. Blackwell turns up.
I think The Oath is
Okay.
kind of fantastical.
Yeah.
Do you think Mr. Blackwell like went back in time, or
I have no
All I
idea.
can tell you is that he's not well.
But
You
he
can
should
tell.
be. But he should be banished from the human race.
Yeah, Jesus.
the inhuman race as well? They mention in the lyrics.
Yeah, both. Oh God. Here's to the kid, a real man among men.
Yeah, you're
Cool.
cold and mean, and in between you're rotten to the core. I don't know how this even slightly fits into.
Imagine
the
if this
album.
is what he wrote that sparked the whole fantasy album concept. There's Gene Simmons wrote the story.
Yeah.
Mr. Blackwell also sounds like a children's like storybook villain.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know if anyone's read or seen any adaptation of David Walliams' kids' books. They're all
Yes,
pretty good, but
yeah.
Mr. Blackwell definitely sounds like he'd be the, I don't know, probably evil like chip shop owner or something,
he's like
terrorising the children.
He's like a Roald Dahl character or something.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, Roald
Also
Dahl.
played by Gene Simmons in the movie.
Yeah.
That's probably a better example, actually, Roald Dahl. I'm on the website kissfaq.com.
Yeah.
Frequently asked questions. RE, obscure Kiss song, Mr. Blackwell. And they're just chatting about it and what it's about. In my opinion, this is from user named 2000. Oh no, Johnny Sweatpants. And what he says is that
Another great Kiss character.
in my opinion, this is probably Gene Simmons secretly writing under pseudonym. In my opinion, Mr. Blackwell is a misunderstood masterpiece from the most underrated album in the Kiss catalogue.
Correct.
I've loved it since a kid. The lyrics, "Why don't you go to hell?" were pretty badass to my 7-year-old self.
Yes.
I
That sums it up.
feel sorry for anyone who gets no pleasure from listening to The Elder. It's a virtual treasure trove. Love it. This is another guy. This is
Guys, did you find my
this is written by
my Kiss frequent asked questions account?
Tim Star 78 says, "Love it. Gene's voice as an evil character." So Gene's voice. And the breakdown is one of the strangest, in a good ways, moments of the album. Lots of crazy panning, percussion, fun effects, general sonic mayhem.
Yeah. I think this album...
This one stands out to me. I genuinely like this song because it's so fucking weird.
Yeah, it has like a weird, like almost contemporary sort of like groove, like sludge type vibe to it, which I think is like if I was in like a doom metal band or if I was in a band like The Sword or something, I would cover the fuck out of this song.
If I was in a band where we're like, yeah, we're going to do a Kiss cover, I would pick something off this album.
Yeah.
Just to fuck with people.
Yeah.
I would also definitely go, yeah, we're going to play Kiss.
Yeah.
You know what it is.
You like Kiss? Get ready to shout it out loud.
Just a boy.
You're not well.
Mr. Blackwell. So I'm looking up that old boy that I found.
Okay. Okay, so we're
Oh, the
just...
real Mr. Blackwell.
Okay.
So one, he got referenced on Seinfeld, but also the Kiss concept album Music from the Elder includes a song about a villain named Mr. Blackwell. The pre-choruses include the refrain, "You're cold and mean, and in between you're rotten to the core," which seems to describe the various celebrities' opinions of the real Blackwell.
Wow.
Not related in any way, but just someone went, I'm going to have a dig at this. Because it's not written about him.
Gene's like, I got something to say, okay? It's
this
more
old boy
important than I can't... Yeah, he actually blanked me at a party in New York, so...
This guy, the real Blackwell, Richard Blackwell, was the guy who came up with it. He was the creator of the 10 worst dressed women list at the annual awards presentation. He
He
unveiled,
names Gene's number one.
he unveiled in January each year.
and 2, and 3, and 4.
So I choose to believe now that the villain of this whole album is a
Maybe he thought
deceased fashion designer.
Maybe you
Richard
thought
Blackwell.
Jean was spelled like Jean.
Perfect.
Yeah. Oh god. So then, I mean, so that brings us to Escape from the Island, which I thought was interesting because there's not one mention of there being an island or that they need to escape from.
Yeah.
So
So Mr. Blackwell's portal from 70s New York go to this island, and everyone else has to escape because Blackwell
Manhattan.
turned up.
oh god, I'd be really annoyed if when they did the movie, they did the ultimate fantasy cop out where they'd have 2 seasons of fantasy universe, then they transport it to like modern day 80s New York.
They absolutely
Yeah.
would. And Kiss would be playing in a bar.
Yeah, precisely. Or
I mean,
like they'd have to get in a taxi and the driver would turn around and it would be Gene Simmons.
no, because Gene Simmons is Blackwell.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
he'd obviously he's the villain. He would turn up at this sleazy but dive bar where Kiss are playing.
Yeah.
And then
And make
Gene
a
would be
joke
singing, and he'd
about
go, "I like this guy's style." And then, I mean, Gene's voice gets deeper each one of our impressions. Yeah, he'd be like, like the style. I mean, he'd like, I don't know, he'd have kidnapped a woman at this point and licked her face or something. at
Yeah,
that point.
absolutely.
Basically, he'd be the Kurgan from
He'd say-
Highlander.
Yeah, because
Mr.
imagine
Blackwell.
they'd get in like the taxi and it would be say like it would be the drummer, like so it wouldn't be Peter Kiss.
Full,
Peter
in full
Criss.
face makeup.
Yeah. I say like can you take us to 54 by 72 downtown street? And he's like, don't ask me, I just play the drums. And they do a little like fill on the dashboard of the car.
Or-
then he would
And then he'd be like,
actually
buckle in, guys. And then it would like fire coming out the back of the wheel.
Yeah. Or he'd be at that bar and he'd make a phone call on like an oversized, the big old cell phones on one of
Yep.
those. He'd go, "Hey, Gene, it's your cousin, John Simmons. I think I got that fresh new sound you were looking for."
predating Back to the Future.
So Gene Simmons is now playing 4 different people in this film. But also, I genuinely think Mr. Blackwell, to me, makes his album more interesting because it doesn't fit in at all.
It
Makes me question the rest of this album because I'm assuming it's medieval fantasy, but now here's this slumlord.
When I listened to a lot of this, I did think about various, again, predates it, but various like Legend of Zelda games as well. Partly because Legend of Zelda is like quite like stock fantasy.
yeah.
with a nice twist
Mr.
on it.
Blackwell's first name is Ganon as well. So. Ganon Blackwell. No one suspects a thing.
That's a real good
It's a good name, isn't it? Yeah, it's good. You can have that one, Gene.
We're going to open up Loudmouth and it's like, Gene Simmons files trademark suit against Nintendo. you can sue anyone. Escape from the Island, I think, again, it was like one of the only songs written by Ace Frehley on here.
That's
So-
the instrumental, isn't
Yeah,
it?
it's instrumental.
Does it
yeah.
specify what island it is through its music?
No, it doesn't.
Long Island.
Long Island.
It doesn't sound, like Sri Lanka or somewhere. Or
But
Madagascar.
I feel like they do mention like a boat journey at some point, but then that's
To the
in
island.
Oath. And I think that boat journey could also be intergalactic as well. It's very vague.
That's a real good point.
It could also be the Staten Island ferry. We just don't know.
It's like they didn't have a strong enough concept, so they just threw lots of fantasy type things in there.
Yeah.
So that you would think the story was way more imaginative.
Maybe
than
the
it
island
was.
is Manhattan. Maybe it's Blackwell escaping from Manhattan into wherever this fantasy world is.
Because it's
Classic Blackwell.
Because also it could
Classic Ganon.
So
be
good.
that like this man child.
Ganon Blackwell.
Okay, so if this person is a man child, this character, and it's
Yeah.
set in modern day Manhattan, I reckon he's maybe just like a guy in his like early 20s who's still living in his parents' basement, and they've actually made him get a job, and him becoming the hero is like the 3-week training to work at Subway.
I'll ring
Okay.
Chris Pratt, see what he's doing.
Yeah,
Get
see
him in
what
the
he's
film.
up to. Yeah.
I feel like as well, like that's the story that the budget you would acquire would cover.
Yeah, absolutely.
Or Blackwell would turn up at the Subway and order like a meat that doesn't exist in our world to signify that he's fantastical in some way. He'd be like, "I want oxen long goat or something." What are you on about, man? I just make sandwiches. Join me, man, child. It would be like that. It would be classic Black. I just love Blackwell.
We're getting
We're at the end.
Mr. Blackwell.
Yeah.
Bow,
so
bow, bow.
we're on the last song. This one actually sounds like
A song?
Oh no, that's not true. We missed the Oath out.
Yeah, that's fine.
Just to talk about the Oath.
okay.
We're running over.
It is the only song they play on this album. They brought it back like a couple of years ago, and they only do it on like the Kiss cruise and stuff.
Yeah.
Because no one can escape. We're in the middle of the ocean.
Yeah,
It's the implication.
they're escaping from the island on the Kiss cruise, and then Kiss are there playing the Oath constantly.
You know, Gene.
It's like it's 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 an actual rocking song, and it does sound more like a Kiss song, but then they just piss over it with their fantasy lyrics.
And then you got
And then we've got the last song as well, which is I. Again, I actually sounds like a Kiss song.
well earlier. I was saying to the guys, I thought that I sounded like another song. I couldn't put my finger on it. It just sounds like a Kiss song. I think that's what I'm confusing it with. Specifically, though, it does sound a bit like what did we decide it sounds like? Oh, Love Gun.
Love Gun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I like this one because it sounds like a Kiss song. I'm like, yeah, I'm back. Cool.
Yeah, it's kind of weird because you finally get to the end of the album, you're like, oh yeah, this is what Kiss actually sound like.
But maybe that's what Blackwell wants us to think.
I just read something crazy. So the Kiss Army newsletter came out in 1980 describing what the new album was going to sound like.
Yeah.
They described it, they said, it will be hard and heavy from start to finish, straight on rock and roll that will knock your socks off.
That could not be further from the truth.
No!
I mean,
But then, like, they talk. Apparently, at one point, they were set to make like a back to basics rock album.
Like a good album.
Yeah,
But also, if they didn't have
then
any-
the producer came in high off the
wall.
not just
Mescaline.
the wall, but other
but also, if you were
high
running a
off,
Kiss
I
newsletter,
think you're on like purple drank or something.
I think he'd been drinking cough syrup for
Yeah.
like nothing but for 8 weeks.
but
if you run a Kiss newsletter and you don't have any insider information, it's such a safe bet 9 times out of 10 to say big rock album, big riffs, knock your socks off. It's gonna be great, guys. Because 9 times out of 10, that's what Kiss put out.
Yeah.
Apart from the
In
disco.
fact, this is their 9th album.
Oh my god.
Honestly, I'm really
crack code.
surprised. I'm really surprised they didn't call the album 9 in Roman numerals. Then the music from the Elder Part 1.
Part 1.
Why are there no numerals?
It's pretentious enough
Unless,
to warrant it.
whoa. Unless, hang on, guys, the last track, I.
Oh, one.
It's 1.
Part
This
1,
marks
baby.
the beginning.
Yeah.
It is
Part
part
2.
1.
Or
Keep an eye,
it's
guys.
like it's kind of like with
Or
Star,
I.
It's kind of like Star Wars, where it was just called like Star Wars Episode 7, and then or Episode 4 even, and then they went back and called it like A New Hope afterwards. They were going to go back and rename
Blackwell's
it.
Revenge.
We actually always envisioned 12 albums.
Attack of the Blackwell.
Yeah.
But also, they could have done all sorts of things with their mythos.
am the Blackwell.
Why didn't they do an album where Kiss faced off against an alternate reality version of Kiss called Knights in Satan's Service? Because that was what all the Godmothers who burnt the albums thought that Kiss stood for. So they could have just done that as an actual, like, taken that and run with it and been like,
Literally, I think
anything else we've done. I mean,
I really do think that the big point that we've managed to make time and time again during
Blackwell.
every song is that, but also that literally any story other than this would be better.
Yeah.
or a story.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Like they spent like a decade like kind of creating these characters with these personalities and this mystique about them. Then they finally decided to do a concept album, and then they went, nah.
Oh god. So the Japanese. Have you spoke about the Japanese
Well,
cover?
the normal album cover to start with
Okay.
is Paul Stanley's hand on a door knocker.
Do we know if it's Paul Stanley's?
Yeah, because originally you could see part of his face apparently unpainted.
Where?
I don't know, during the photo shoots.
Oh, okay.
And then the Japanese cover is so much better.
The Japanese album cover is because it's weird because I think that's like one of the only Kiss albums at the time that didn't actually have a photo of the band on it.
Yeah.
The Japanese album cover is amazing. Like, it's so good.
Who's that in a pink hue?
It looks like it was put together by a fanzine.
Yep.
I'm really excited. We're looking at because on the side of it, it's 4 photos of Kiss, where the biggest photo of all of them is of Ace Frehley. Yeah. Also, I think Ace Frehley, what you can't see there is he's actually showing the rest of the band the middle finger as he quits.
Yeah. But
He's actually pissing on the recording.
also, I've never seen Paul Stanley wear a headband before.
No. And I don't ever want to see it again.
Oh, I think it's cool as fuck.
Yeah, well, it's keeping the hair on, isn't it?
What I also like is all the writing in Japanese down the side, because I wonder what that's telling you about the album.
Yep.
It's got to be telling you more than just the name of it.
No, I think it's a warning.
That
Handle
hue,
with care.
Contains Blackwell.
that sort of red pinkish hue around Ace Frehley is actually the brake lights of a taxi that he's about to get into as he departs the studios for the last time.
Yeah.
See, this could be... Yeah, this album cover could easily be shots from the film that this should have been about.
It feels like
these
such
characters.
a weird wasted opportunity as well, because again, Kiss, in all their elaborate costumes, they're doing a fantasy album, and they didn't even bother doing costumes for it.
But also, Kiss of all people haven't done a film, which is wild to me because I've got some VHSs of Kisses like where they would release songs. When they would do music videos, they would release it and intercut it with. I'll try and find it so we can watch it one day.
Okay.
It's an entire set of skits based around this mansion that Kiss live in together. And it's the album, whatever album has Crazy Nights and Heaven's on Fire on it. But it's only doing loads of really shitty skits, living at his house together. And like Gene Simmons has got some kind of love dungeon for a bedroom. And Paul Stanley's making all these deadpan jokes about... Oh, I can't remember now. He's talking about something's for... I can't remember. It's based around the word fast and the word breakfast. and how he likes it. And about like how he likes to eat it slowly. I can't even remember.
He's probably talking about fucking, right?
It's... I'll find it. I'm sure I've got it in the attic in my mum and dad's house.
Sounds superb.
So,
yeah. But he
to
never did a movie.
just to talk about.
Oh, yes, he did. Carry on.
Yeah, just to talk
They did a
about
movie.
how this album went down. It went down like a fart in a lift.
Nice.
Because
Like a dog shit quiche.
yeah.
That is an evocative phrase. Sorry, Kiss did a movie
Yeah.
called Kiss
Meets-
Meets the Phantom in the Park.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
1978. The film's plot revolves around Kiss, who use their superpowers to battle an evil inventor. And save a California amusement park from destruction.
Please find out.
Anthony Zerbe plays the inventor who went on to play Milton Seacrest in License to Kill.
What's the
Gets head blown up in the pressure.
What's the name of the inventor? And is it Mr. Blackwell?
No, it's Abner Devereux.
Way more cool.
But that whole plot
fantasy
is better.
name.
Musical fantasy, Abner Devereux. Starring Kiss. That's what he says. they don't get individual billing.
Because we're a unit. So this album absolutely tanked when it came out. Basically, when Kiss premiered Music from the Elder for their management and record company in October of '81, the reaction was a mixture of confusion and resentment.
Resentment is such a good word.
That's such an amazing word.
Business manager Howard Marks refused to allow his company's name to appear on the liner notes, so he tried to Alan Smithy it. Fan reaction to the album was equally harsh, while critical reaction was comparably positive. But the album quickly disappeared from the charts by February 1982. So the album kind of tanked. They were going to do a tour for the album, so they'd got the budget sorted and everything.
Yeah.
And they never bothered. They only did like a couple of like one-off appearances around the world, including like a lip-sync performance of I from Studio 54, which was broadcast to a festival in Italy.
Fuck me, what a sentence.
Yeah. And Ace Frehley wasn't even there for the performance, so they performed as a trio.
Oh, he couldn't even mime. They had magic powers in this film, by the way.
Oh my god, so most participants in the album's recording admit that it was a major misstep for Kiss. Erzin, despite his recent success with the more ambitious The Wall album, admitted that his judgments concerning Music from the Elder were clouded, due in part to a cocaine addiction.
Oh, there you go. I fucking called it. Because that's the only explanation.
Yeah.
If you I don't mean funny. If you're on cocaine, this is a great idea.
And I've been on cocaine for 3 weeks now. I fucking love this album. Stanley and Simmons admit that they were delusional concerning the project, while Frehley stated that he felt it was never a good idea to begin with. This was also apparently the first Kiss album not to break 500,000 copies in sales. And there are rumours that it has sold around 500,000, but no one's ever been able to confirm it.
I wonder which shady man started that rumour.
I wonder.
Someone told me, like, I think
A mysterious deep voice.
I think they sent me a platinum album, but I just put it with the rest.
Too busy fucking.
Yeah, I would have loved to imagine what the tour would have been like for this if they'd gone all out with the concept and like costumes and.
like a Kiss tour, I guess.
You say that, what all the costumes and stuff, they don't paint a picture of what that would be at all, except for Blackwell.
I just imagine them wearing like more fantasy armour and stuff.
Like they'd move the songs around them and there'd be a break halfway
feel like they'd
through,
be
so
more
they could bring
close.
in the.
Yeah.
They'd have most of the money be spent on a Manhattan skyline set for Blackwell. Yeah. Also, in the movie, they fight an evil version of themselves played by robots. So, much better.
This is so much better.
But they didn't like it because it made the film they chose to be in made them look like buffoons. So that's their exact words, and that's why they don't like the movie.
At one point during the shooting, when we were fighting the robots ourselves, I did wonder if this was damaging our artistic integrity.
It's going to be a tangent on a podcast, but I'll let you know about their space powers afterwards.
How's everyone feel about this album? Should we sum it up?
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's how I feel about it.
I've had a better time talking about it now
Yeah.
than listening to it.
Yeah.
I know that's not true for you.
I think it has
You really
flashes
like this.
of greatness.
Yeah.
But like literal like seconds, and then
Yeah. Like if you ate one diamond and 14 bottles of laxative.
I'd like it more if it was garbage, but it isn't.
Yeah.
I like this
Yeah.
album in the same way that I like maybe a movie like The Room.
It's not even that bad.
It's not that bad. But what you can see in it is all of the misplaced ambition.
An artistic vision.
You can see that. You can see that they were like every like really good bad movie, like every sort of like crap like The Room and Miami Connection, stuff like that.
Yeah.
The best bad movies are the ones not like Sharknado stuff like that, but the ones where someone has an idea they are 100% behind,
Like a real earnest.
real earnest to see it.
Yeah,
and they
absolutely.
swing for the fences and they completely fucking miss, spin around and hit their own face with the bat.
Yep.
That's what this album is.
Except in this case, it's a warhammer.
It's a
or an eviction notice. We just don't know. We just don't know.
Well, I know.
I think like applying the concept of this album is to like a man-child living in New York in the late 70s, early 80s who has a crummy landlord called Mr. Blackwell who has to start a new job and is escaping into a fantasy universe.
And perhaps, all of the music and that is in his own dreams, and that he prefers to live in this fantasy world because that's the only place that he can feel like a hero.
Blackwell is from the fantasy land.
Right.
He came to our world to find the man-child to stop him from rising to power. Didn't realise he was under his nose the whole time and he's the crummy tenant. The one person he's been looking for to murder is the crummy tenant, and he inadvertently sets off his own nemesis to become the...
Like a self-fulfilling prophecy.
Yeah.
This is
So
giving...
he Luke Skywalker's Kylo.
Yeah, precisely.
Yeah, there you go.
All right.
Spoilers.
If you haven't seen it by now.
Yeah, for that movie that made billions of dollars. So, I have got such a kick out of this album. I keep going back to it. Don't know why. It's the crummy fantasy metal thing, which I do have a soft spot for crap fantasy metal.
I love it. I mean,
this is very much your pants short.
It really is. In the same way that like I will listen to like Virgin Steel and
Who, if you don't know, we will be covering.
yeah, and like
I'm
some of the
busy.
things that I absolutely love about Dio. Except Dio is like great because he's got the voice.
Well,
of
Dio
the
pulls it
picture.
off, doesn't he? I
But
think
like,
that's the thing.
his
Dio finishes the painting.
his fantasy stuff is like way out there.
Yep.
But
He's not painting with his fingers.
I
either.
have such a soft spot for this album. But it'd be like in so that like you don't want like a sci-fi concept album from Ozzy Osbourne. Like, no one needs that, right?
Well, I didn't until now.
Yeah, now I want to hear that as well.
I mean, well,
Mr. Spaceman.
I think we're kind of in one place about this, but it turns out there are some people who do have some very strong opinions of this.
There's some real glowing reviews online.
We have got some alternative opinions.
Yeah.
Sickos. Absolute
Um,
sickos.
Got a great one here, courtesy of Amazon.
Who says?
What's the hub?
I thought Amazon themselves were going.
This is a company statement, yeah.
Amazon says.
Jeff Bezos says.
Yeah, we believe
Please
the
buy
music of Kiss's music from the Elder is in line with the values of Amazon, offering great value.
So this is by a man called Desmond Brown, who says, please refer to the above reviews. These people are talking out their backsides. The Elder is by far the best Kiss album ever. Sonic Boom, you're having a laugh. What these reviewers fail to recognise is that the best songs are in fact the Paul Stanley songs. The Oath is sung in falsetto. But so what? Could you sing it? I don't think so. I've been a Kiss fan for 31 years. Please leave this album alone, as it is epic.
The argument of saying, I don't think you could sing that, is garbage.
I think we've proved 4 times on this podcast. Anyone can do this.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
But also, just because I can't sing as well as a professional singer, doesn't mean I'm not allowed to critique if I like their work or not.
Precisely. I've never directed a feature-length movie.
Yet.
But yet.
Songs from the
precisely.
Elder.
Yeah, my true calling.
Mr.
Oh my god,
But I
guys.
can tell you if the movie is shit or not.
It gets even better as well, because that actually has a reply.
Blackwell's Revenge.
Oh my god. Amazing.
You are so fucking close.
Oh no.
This has a reply from Mr. Blackwell. He says, don't think I've ever managed to talk out my backside. Still, I'll keep trying. Maybe you could give some advice. This little
Hang on.
wall breaks out.
Hang on.
If you look
Hang on.
at Mr. Blackwell's purchases, it's like a Kiss casket on there.
No, Mr. Blackwell's the one who slagged off the album, man.
Yes.
And he's got the username Mr. Blackwell
Yes.
from this album.
Yes.
Cool. Just checking. That makes perfect
Well,
sense.
that's Mr. Blackwell. He's a
But he's the antagonist.
He's a mysterious
of the-
being.
yeah. How many properties does he own? We'll never tell.
He's also.
Mr. Blackwell will not fix your boiler.
Oh.
Put another jumper on.
He's given. Oh man, yeah. Mr. Blackwell he's leaving a lot of reviews for stuff. Tigers of Pantang,
Tigers of Pantang.
Saxon,
Of course.
great.
All the pieces.
He was definitely at this rock event you went to the weekend, Lewis.
I think he might have promoted it.
I think it might be me. I woke up covered in my own drool. In a way, we're all Mr. Blackwell.
I for one am going to recommend this album.
Oh, absolutely listen to it.
If only as like a weird musical curiosity. Like people I've spoken to who are fans of like classic rock, hard rock, heavy metal, don't know this album exists. And so
Yeah, I didn't believe you when you first told us about it.
I'd read about it years ago, and I would stumble across it every so often, and I never actually bothered to listen to it. I was like, oh, whatever, I'll just stick the greatest hits on. I don't think anything from this made the greatest hits, but it's so worth a listen just for how fucking weird it is.
Yeah, I'd agree. I kind of wish it was weirder in a way. I don't know. But yeah, listen to it, absolutely.
Imagine if it kept on like how it started.
I know.
Because by the time you get to the end of the album, it definitely
They
kind
gave
of fits
up and
more
went back
into
to-
like a Kiss album. Yeah.
It's almost like they panicked and went, oh shit, we better put a
it's
traditional
like they ran out of
sounding-
cocaine. Yeah.
Yeah.
The buzz kind of wore off.
AKA the White Panic. You run out of cocaine.
That's it. I would definitely say to listen to it. I would say to listen to it after you've listened to any other Kiss album, just for some weird fucking.
If you're not familiar with
comparison.
Kiss, just listen to their greatest hits and then listen to this.
Yeah.
I think the contrast will
Because
be
like
there.
after this album, they completely like reinvented themselves again. In that way, it's such a musical oddity that they reinvented themselves as a disco band, then reinvented themselves as a fantasy rock band. They
fucking nailed one of them.
They went so wrong that they had to ditch their own image to start over again.
Oh, that wasn't us, that was a friend.
That was Kiss with a C.
We've been out at sea for the last 5 years on a research vessel.
Yeah,
Don't know who these other people are.
we've actually been doing great in Japan, but we're back now without the
Big in
makeup.
Japan.
Thank you guys for listening.
Thanks.
Thanks, guys.
Keep
We're
on
sorry.
supporting us. Sorry for nothing.
Thanks for making it this far.
Keep looking to the stars. What are we going to cover next? What do you guys want to talk about next? What have people got to look forward to?
Let us know.
Yeah, we're going to get Twitter, Instagram, Facebook. All
We
of
have
that
it already.
crap. We already have it.
At Slowly We Rock.
At Blackwell.
Amazing.
No, that's not real.
Mr. Blackwell Slowly Rock.
Yeah, I mean, I haven't, don't get me wrong, I haven't set that up yet, but I'm assuming the name's not taken.
Yeah.
We'll put in the comments if it is. But if you could keep sharing.
I like the idea
keep
you're not going to
liking.
edit over to say what it actually is. You're just going to put out the wrong advice. And then
I'm raw.
in the notes going, this actually isn't correct. We need to.
Excuse me, failed experiments, as proven here, are what we need.
Just such a Blackwell.
But no, seriously, thank you for your continued support. Thank you for listening.
Thanks, guys.
Please keep sharing. Please keep liking. Please keep putting up with the tremendous amount of BS we spout.
Yeah. Oh, also, if you have anything that you would like us to talk about, anything which you think would qualify for like the shit list, or even like good albums, forgotten classics, anything.
Pivotal moments.
Yeah, point us in our direction, and we will we'll listen to it, we'll watch it, and we will talk some shit about it. So
Yeah.
be part of the conversation.
Oh,
Yeah.
Oh, I like that. That's very nice. In fact, literally, if you want to come on this show,
Yeah.
it's probably not that difficult.
Yeah.
Thank you very much, guys.
Okay.
Take care.
Catch you later. Bye.
Bye.